There is a quiet feeling that many men begin to experience as they grow older. It is a thought that often stays hidden in the back of their minds, something they rarely admit out loud. As the years pass and their hair begins to turn gray, they may look in the mirror and quietly wonder whether they are still attractive. They may wonder if women still notice them when they enter a room, or if they have slowly become invisible without even realizing it. The truth is, these thoughts affect far more men than most people would ever imagine. Our culture often sends the message that attraction belongs to youth, fast energy, perfect bodies, and youthful appearances. Because of this, many older men begin to underestimate themselves. They become less confident about the way they look, speak, and carry themselves. But there is something important that most people rarely talk about. Attraction does not simply disappear with age. Instead, the way people experience attraction can change. In many cases, an older man can become more appealing because of his character, wisdom, emotional strength, and the way he treats the people around him. Life experience changes the way a man stands, speaks, listens, and moves through the world. It creates qualities that cannot simply be copied or purchased. It is wonderful to have you back with us. We are part of a caring community focused on helping people better understand attraction, emotions, confidence, and healthy relationships. Before we continue, I would love your help in growing this community. If you could help us reach 1,000 subscribers, it would mean so much to me and to everyone who finds value in these conversations. Every person who joins this community genuinely matters. If you enjoy thoughtful discussions about how the mind works, why people feel drawn toward one another, and how meaningful relationships develop, make sure you subscribe so you never miss another guide. Now, let us continue because what I am about to explain may completely change the way you see yourself as a man. One thing many men fail to understand is that attraction can evolve as people mature. As women gain more life experience and become more aware of what they truly want, physical appearance may no longer be the only thing that matters to them. When people are younger, attraction can sometimes be strongly influenced by excitement, appearance, novelty, and the thrill of the moment. But with maturity, many women begin placing greater value on qualities such as emotional stability, confidence, kindness, self-awareness, and consistency. They may want a man who makes them feel comfortable, someone who remains calm under pressure, understands emotions, and creates a sense of security simply by being around him. That shift can completely change what makes an older man attractive. Today, we are going to explore 5 strong signs that women may still find you attractive as an older man. Even if you do not recognize these qualities in yourself anymore, there may already be signs happening around you. You may simply need to understand what they mean. The first sign is that women naturally seem comfortable around you. They relax when you are nearby. They appear more open, more conversational, and less guarded in your presence. This can be an important sign because emotional comfort often comes before obvious flirting. Many men assume that attraction must be loud, dramatic, or impossible to miss. But in real life, attraction can appear in much quieter ways. A woman may become more relaxed around a man she likes. She may maintain conversations longer, smile more often, make steady eye contact, or look for small reasons to remain near him. You might notice that a younger woman starts talking with you even though there is no real reason for the conversation to continue. Perhaps a woman working at a store becomes unusually friendly when you approach the counter. Maybe a coworker laughs more when you are around or asks for your opinion about something simple. She may continue a conversation after the practical reason for speaking has already ended. None of these behaviors automatically prove romantic attraction because friendliness can look similar. But when several of these behaviors appear together, they can indicate that she feels especially comfortable and engaged with you. A calm and confident presence can be appealing. As men gain experience, many naturally become less concerned with proving themselves to everyone around them. They speak more slowly, react with greater patience, and become less easily disturbed by small problems. Women can notice these qualities. A man who is emotionally steady can feel very different from someone who is constantly seeking approval or reacting impulsively. Being someone around whom another person feels safe and relaxed can be deeply attractive. When a woman feels comfortable, she may naturally reveal more about herself. She may laugh more freely, talk about personal experiences, maintain eye contact, or become more expressive. Instead of feeling pressured, she feels that she can simply be herself. That comfort can create a connection without either person having to force anything. Another quality older men sometimes underestimate is their ability to listen. Younger men may feel pressure to impress others by talking about their achievements, experiences, or opinions, but with age often comes the ability to listen without immediately trying to dominate the conversation. A man who genuinely pays attention, remembers what a woman says, and allows her to express herself can make her feel valued and understood. Women may appreciate this quality because being listened to creates a feeling of being seen. It is not simply the number of years a man has lived that can make him attractive, it is what those years have taught him. Patience, emotional maturity, self control, and understanding can become powerful qualities. Attraction can grow quietly through the feeling that someone can relax and be authentic around you. The second sign is that people regularly compliment you on your appearance or the way you carry yourself. Someone may mention your voice, your hairstyle, your beard, your clothing, your posture, your watch, or even the way you smell. These comments can seem small, but they may reveal that people are paying attention to you. Many older men underestimate the importance of taking care of themselves. Looking after your appearance is not about trying to look 20 years younger. It is about showing that you respect yourself. Clean clothing, good grooming, healthy habits, and a confident posture can communicate self respect and discipline. These qualities can influence how others perceive you. You do not need to hide your age to be attractive. In fact, being comfortable with your age can sometimes make you more appealing. Gray hair, a mature face, and signs of experience can look confident when a man carries them without embarrassment. Trying desperately to appear younger can communicate insecurity, while accepting your age can communicate confidence. Consistency also matters. When a man regularly looks neat, takes care of himself, and carries himself with quiet confidence, people begin to associate him with stability. A younger man might attract attention through excitement and loudness, while an older man may attract attention through calmness, confidence, and substance. That kind of presence can stand out precisely because it is not trying too hard. This is why compliments should not always be dismissed. If a woman specifically notices your style, voice, grooming, or appearance, it means she has paid attention to something about you. Of course, a compliment alone does not prove romantic interest. Some people are naturally warm and complimentary, but repeated compliments, especially when combined with other signs of attention, can suggest that you have made an impression. The third sign is that you notice someone looking at you for longer than necessary or paying attention to you when there is no obvious reason to do so. This can be one of the more noticeable signs of curiosity or attraction. A woman who finds a man interesting may observe him before she ever decides to speak with him. She may glance in his direction from across the room, look at him while he is talking to someone else, or briefly make eye contact and then look away. One glance does not tell you very much. People look at others for countless reasons, but repeated attention can be different. If you repeatedly notice the same woman looking toward you, remembering where you are, or becoming more attentive whenever you enter the room, it may indicate that you have caught her attention. The important thing is to look at the overall pattern rather than one isolated behavior. Attraction is rarely proven by a single gesture. It is better understood through several consistent signs appearing together. When a woman repeatedly looks at you, seems comfortable around you, starts conversations, remembers small details about you, and gives you personal compliments, the combination may tell you much more than any one behavior alone. As an older man, you may sometimes assume that nobody notices you anymore, but attraction does not always announce itself loudly. Sometimes it appears through a glance, a smile, a longer conversation, a thoughtful compliment, or the simple fact that someone seems noticeably happier when you are around. Your age does not automatically make you invisible. The confidence, wisdom, warmth, and presence you have developed over the years may be exactly what makes you stand out. So instead of asking yourself whether you are still attractive because you look younger, ask a different question. What kind of presence do people experience when they are around me? Your appearance matters, but it is only one part of the picture. The way you listen, the way you treat others, your emotional stability, your confidence, and your comfort with yourself can all shape how attractive you appear. You may be more noticeable than you think. You may simply have stopped looking for the quieter signs. She may find her eyes drifting back toward you again and again. You might notice that she holds your gaze slightly longer than usual while you are talking. She may look toward you when you are speaking with a group or pay attention to little details about you that most other people completely overlook. You might even catch her watching you for a moment before she quickly looks away. These moments can seem very small, but they may reveal that you have captured her attention. Attraction does not always begin with words. Very often it starts quietly through curiosity, observation, and the simple desire to understand someone better. Men who are mature, confident, and emotionally calm can create a unique kind of interest. While younger men may sometimes attract attention through excitement and energy, an older man who is comfortable with himself can make a woman curious. She may begin wondering what is behind your calm personality. She watches the way you behave, the way you respond when something goes wrong, and the way you treat people who have nothing to offer you. These details matter because many women want to understand whether a man is emotionally safe, dependable, and trustworthy before allowing themselves to become closer to him. A man who remains grounded even when situations become stressful can give the impression that he knows who he is. That kind of confidence can be deeply appealing. It is one reason some women feel naturally drawn toward mature men without being able to explain exactly what caught their attention. Sometimes attraction is not about one particular physical feature. It is about the overall feeling a person creates when they enter a room. Another thing many men overlook is the power of silence. They assume that attraction must involve constant conversation, obvious flirting, or dramatic gestures. But real interest can be much quieter than that. A woman might simply stand a little closer when you are nearby. She may smile differently when you speak, become more attentive when you enter a conversation, or suddenly seem more interested in what is happening around her. These subtle behaviors can sometimes reveal more than a direct compliment. This type of connection can feel deeper because it is based on more than appearance. Women may be attracted to a man who seems genuinely comfortable with himself, a man who can sit quietly without feeling the need to fill every moment with conversation, can create a peaceful atmosphere. He does not constantly need to prove how successful, strong, or interesting he is. He simply feels comfortable being himself. In a world where so many people are competing for attention, that kind of calmness can stand out. Before I continue with the remaining signs, I want to remind you that your support truly means a lot. If you are enjoying these conversations, please help us reach 1,000 subscribers so we can continue growing this community together. When you subscribe, you are not simply supporting one video or one creator. You are also helping future viewers discover conversations that may give them a different perspective on confidence, attraction, emotional connection, and relationships. Every person who becomes part of this community helps us reach another person who may need to hear these ideas. The fourth sign is that women genuinely listen to what you say and remember small details you mentioned a long time ago. This can be a meaningful indication that you have made an impression on them. When we become interested in someone, we naturally become more attentive to their words. If a woman remembers something you casually mentioned several weeks earlier, it may mean that the conversation mattered to her more than you realized. Perhaps she remembers your favorite type of coffee, a story you once told her, the place you like visiting, or a hobby you mentioned only once. On the surface, these details may appear insignificant, but remembering them means your words remained in her mind after the conversation ended. She was not simply hearing you, she was paying attention to you. This matters because attraction does not always develop through huge, unforgettable moments. Sometimes it grows through small pieces of attention repeated over time. Mature men can naturally create this kind of connection because they often communicate differently. They may choose their words more carefully and feel less pressure to impress everyone around them. They do not need to turn every conversation into a performance. That can make a woman feel more comfortable. When she feels relaxed, she becomes more present in the conversation. She listens more carefully because she genuinely values the time she is spending with you. When conversations begin to feel meaningful, emotional connection can gradually develop without either person forcing it. It is also important to understand the role of emotional intelligence. Women often notice when a man thinks before speaking, listens carefully, and responds instead of immediately reacting. A man who can remain calm when something goes wrong can feel very different from someone who becomes angry, defensive, or frustrated at the smallest problem. That kind of emotional maturity can become increasingly valuable with age. As people gain more relationship experience, many begin to appreciate peace more than unnecessary drama. A woman who has experienced stressful relationships may especially appreciate a man who brings stability rather than confusion. Someone who communicates calmly and handles difficult situations with maturity can feel like a welcome change. A woman who is interested in you may also find small reasons to keep the conversation going. She may ask another question even after the original topic has ended. She might bring up something you discussed previously or ask for your opinion about something personal. Sometimes the simplest explanation is that she enjoys talking with you. When someone appreciates your presence, the connection gradually becomes about more than physical appearance. She becomes interested in your opinions, your values, your experiences, and the way you understand the world. That is when attraction can begin moving beyond surface level interest and develop into something more personal and meaningful. The fifth sign is that women naturally seem to find reasons to remain around you longer than necessary. This can be one of the clearest patterns to notice because people generally prefer spending time with those who make them feel comfortable and good about themselves. A woman who enjoys your presence may create small opportunities to stay nearby, continue a conversation, or return to speak with you later. You might notice that a conversation continues long after the original subject has been completely discussed. She may ask additional questions, remain nearby after a meeting has ended, or find another reason to start talking with you later. Sometimes she may even ask for your help with something she could probably handle on her own. Other times, there may be no obvious reason at all. She simply seems happy being in the same space as you. This matters because people naturally gravitate toward environments where they feel comfortable. If your presence makes someone feel relaxed, respected, and understood, she may naturally want to experience more of that feeling. This is something many older men fail to recognize about themselves. They sometimes believe they need to be exceptionally handsome, extremely wealthy, or constantly entertaining to remain attractive. But attraction is not always built around those things. Many women value a man who provides a sense of steadiness and emotional peace. An older man who is grounded, confident, and comfortable with himself can offer something that feels increasingly rare in a stressful world. Think about the difference between someone who constantly demands attention and someone who is perfectly comfortable without it. The second person often creates a stronger impression because his confidence does not depend on being noticed. He does not need everyone in the room to approve of him. He does not constantly ask whether he is doing well enough. He simply knows who he is. That quiet confidence can completely change the atmosphere around him. It can make people curious because there is no desperation behind his behavior. He is not chasing attention, he is simply present. This is one reason attraction toward mature men can develop in such a quiet way. A woman may gradually become attached to how she feels when she is around you. She may appreciate your calm energy, your patience, your sense of humor, or the way you make ordinary conversations feel comfortable. Over time, that positive feeling can become a stronger emotional bond. When a woman finds that a man's presence gives her a sense of peace, she may naturally begin looking for more opportunities to spend time with him. She may find reasons to talk, create opportunities to be nearby, or show curiosity about his life. She may want to learn more about what he thinks, what he values, and what kind of person he really is. And remember, this does not always look like obvious flirting. Sometimes it looks like a woman who repeatedly happens to be nearby whenever you are around. It may look like someone who immediately smiles when she sees you, remembers things you told her, or finds small reasons to stay connected. No single behavior proves attraction, but a consistent pattern can tell you much more. If you have stayed with me all the way to the end of this conversation, I would love to know. Leave a comment saying, I watched till the end so I can see who stayed for the whole conversation. It is always meaningful to see how many people stayed until the final moments. And before you leave, please help us reach our goal of 1,000 subscribers. Every person who subscribes helps this community grow and allows these conversations to reach people who may need them. If you found something useful in this discussion, make sure you show your support and stay connected. I will continue sharing thoughtful conversations every week about attraction, confidence, emotional connection, relationships, and the quiet signals people often overlook. Sometimes the most important parts of human connection are not the loudest ones. They are the small moments, the subtle changes in behavior, and the feelings we notice long before we understand what they mean. Thank you for being here, for listening, and for taking the time to think about these ideas with us. Your support makes this community possible. Together, we are creating a place where people can better understand themselves, understand one another, and recognize the meaningful connections that can sometimes be right in front of